Titanium is added to molten aluminium alloys before casting for the purpose of A. Grain refinement, B. Increasing corrosion resistance, C. Reducing porosity, D. Improving fluidity. The correct answer is improving fluidity. Cemented carbide tools are not suitable for cutting. A. Aluminium, B. Brass, C. Cast iron, D. Steel. The correct answer is aluminium. The difference between gross net calorific values of fuel is due to the A. Sensible heat carried away by the flue gases, B. Heat carried away by the steam from the moisture content of the fuel, C. Heat lost by radiation, D. Heat carried away by steam from the combustion of hydrogen in the fuel. The correct answer is heat carried away by steam from the combustion of hydrogen in the fuel. Which of the following is preferred for riveting? A. Lap joint, B. Butt joint, C. Either A or B, D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer is butt joint. Heating the hypoeutectoid steels to 30 C above the upper critical temperature line, soaking at that temperature, and then cooling slowly to the room temperature to form a pearlite ferrite structure is called A. Tempering, B. Hardening, C. Annealing, D. Normalizing. The correct answer is annealing. Mild steel has crystal lattice structure. A. Face-centered cubic FCC, B. Body-centered cubic BCC, C. Orthorhombic, D. Cubic. The correct answer is body-centered cubic BCC. Which of the following does not have a sharp melting point? A. Thoria, B. Glass, C. Ice, D. Pig iron. The correct answer is glass. Aluminium is extracted from A. Chalcocite, B. Bauxite, C. Galena, D. None of these. The correct answer is bauxite. Fluid force is not considered in the Navier-Stokes equation. A. Turbulent, B. Viscous, C. Gravity, D. Pressure. The correct answer is turbulent. What is the value of entropy at 273 K? A. 0, B. 1, C, D. None of these. The correct answer is 0. Tin is not present as an alloying element in A. Phosphor bronze, B. Gunmetal, C. Fusible metal, D. White metal. The correct answer is white metal. Thermite welding uses the following energy source: A. Electrical energy, B. Chemical energy, C. Energy of high-velocity electrons, D. Heat generated by friction. The correct answer is chemical energy. The friction factor for the turbulent fluid flow in a rough pipe does not depend upon the A. Pipe roughness, pipe diameter, B. Fluid velocity, C. Type of flowing fluid, D. Both BC. The correct answer is both BC. Flue gases pass through the following boiler accessories in a high-pressure natural circulation boiler: A. Induced draft fan, B. Economiser C. Air preheater, D. Steam superheater. Which of the following gives the correct sequence of flow of the flue gases through the above-mentioned boiler accessories? A. ACBD, B. DBCA, C. DCBA, D. DABC. The correct answer is DBCA. Case hardening of a material is: A. Followed by tempering or carburizing, B. Preceded by its tempering, C. Done to get a soft ductile interior with a very hard surface, D. Carried out to get extreme hardness in its core. The correct answer is carried out to get extreme hardness in its core. The difference in 1 unit of Rockwell hardness number corresponds to a difference in the depth of indentation of mm. A. 0.001, B. 0.01, C 0.002, D 0.02. The correct answer is 0.002. Steel balls are manufactured by A. Sintering, B. Casting, C. Cold heading, D. Spinning. The correct answer is cold heading. Temperature remains constant during adiabatic saturation process of unsaturated air. A. Dew point, B. Dry bulb, C. Wet bulb, D. None of these. The correct answer is wet bulb. The best lubricants for a machine working at high temperature load is A. Grease, B. Solid lubricant, C. Animal oils, D. Mineral oils. The correct answer is solid lubricant. One face of a furnace wall is at 1030 C and the other face is exposed to room temperature 30 C. If the thermal conductivity of furnace wall is 3 watts, M1, K1 and the wall thickness is 0.3 m, the maximum heat loss in Wm is A. 100, B. 900, C. 9000, D. 10,000. The correct answer is 10,000. Runge-Gupta method is used to solve an A. ordinary differential equation of nth order, B. simultaneous nonlinear equation, C. linear differential equation, D. none of these. The correct answer is simultaneous nonlinear equation. Recrystallisation temperature of steel is C. A. 50, B. 300, C. 500, D. 800. The correct answer is 800. Pressure required to increase the density of water by about 1 is atmosphere. A. 10, B. 50, C. 200, D. 1000. The correct answer is 200. Elimination of brittleness resulting from welding of saw blades is done by of the welded portion. A. Annealing, B. toughening, C. work hardening, D. tempering. The correct answer is annealing. The maximum stress below which a material can withstand an infinite number of cycles of stress is termed as the A. fatigue strength, B. creep strength, C. resilience, D. endurance limit. The correct answer is endurance limit. The best guide to judge the general quality of water is the measurement of its A. pH value, B. electrical conductivity, C. turbidity, D. dissolved oxygen content. The correct answer is electrical conductivity. Wrought iron is not A. ductile resistant to corrosion rusting, B. weldable easily, C. having uniform strength in all directions, D. having maximum tensile strength along the lines of slag distribution. The correct answer is having uniform strength in all directions. Which of the following is the largest quantum of pressure? A. 1 kg cm2, B. 1 bar, C. 1 atmosphere, D. 1 kilopascal. The correct answer is 1 atmosphere. Which of the following is not a charged material for cupola? A. limestone, B. iron scrap, C. iron ore, D. pig iron. The correct answer is iron ore. Which of the following is an undesirable property of slag produced during the pyrometallurgical method of metal extraction from its ore? A. high fusibility fluidity, B. high thermal conductivity, C. low density, D. high chemical activity. The correct answer is high thermal conductivity. In process, ions of salts react with water to produce acidity or alkalinity. A. hydration, B. hydrolysis, C. electrolysis, D. dialysis. The correct answer is hydrolysis. Is used for tying the steel columns to concrete foundation. A. grouting, B. Eye bolt. C. Anchor bolts. D. Refractory castables. The correct answer is anchor bolts. Fatigue resistance of a material is measured by the A. Elastic limit. B. Ultimate tensile strength. C. Young's modulus. D. Endurance limit. The correct answer is endurance limit. Is the trade name assigned to a non-ferrous cast alloy composed of cobalt, chromium, tungsten? A. Stellite. B. High-speed steel. C. Thermit. D. Alnico. The correct answer is stellite. A dense structure of grinding wheel is not used for the A. Ductile material. B. Hard materials. C. Brittle materials. D. Finishing cuts. The correct answer is ductile material. Which of the following is not a principal alloying element for the structural steel? A. Molybdenum. B. Nickel. C. Manganese. D. Chromium. The correct answer is molybdenum. Metalloids. A. Are good conductor of heat electricity. B. Act as electron donors with metals as electron acceptor with non-metals. C. Are not necessarily solids at room temperature. D. Are compounds that exhibit both metallic-non-metallic properties to some extent and are exemplified by elements like germanium, silicon, boron. The correct answer is are compounds that exhibit both metallic-non-metallic properties to some extent and are exemplified by elements like germanium, silicon, boron. Pick out the wrong statement. A. Processing of thermosetting plastics is ideally done by injection molding. B. Processing of thermoplastics is ideally done by compression molding. C. Mass production of seamless pipes are done by electrical resistance welding ERW. D. Stretch forming is a process of cold drawing. The correct answer is mass production of seamless pipes are done by electrical resistance welding ERW. Lead is poured into the joints between two pipes. A. Cast iron. B. Steel. C. Concrete. D. Plastic. The correct answer is cast iron. Ice point is designated on Fahrenheit temperature scale by A. 0. B. 32. C. 62. D. 212. The correct answer is 32. Maximum hardenability of steel depends upon its A. Chemical composition. B. Carbon content. C. Grain size. D. Alloying elements content. The correct answer is alloying elements content. Blast furnace slag is mainly molten. A. Sand. B. Magnesium silicate. C. Calcium silicate. D. Iron pyrite. The correct answer is calcium silicate. A jet engine turbine blade is normally manufactured by A. Forging. B. Shell molding. C. Investment casting. D. Pressure die casting. The correct answer is investment casting. Stainless steel is welded using A. Oxyacetylene flame. B. Oxyhydrogen flame. C. Arc welding. D. Inert gas arc welding. The correct answer is inert gas arc welding. The cooling rate required to freeze 1 ton of water at 0 C into ice at 0 C in 24 hours is BTUHR. A. 100. B. 200. C. 1000. D. 2000. The correct answer is 200. The phenomenon occurring during explosion of a hydrogen bomb is A. Nuclear fission. B. Nuclear fusion. C. A combination of both nuclear fission fusion. D. None of these. The correct answer is a combination of both nuclear fission fusion. Square steel key is normally strong in failure by shear crushing. Keys are normally made of steel bars. A. Hot rolled mild. B. Cold rolled mild. C. Forged. D. Machinable stainless. The correct answer is cold rolled mild. Nitriding of a steel part does not increase its A. Grain size, B. Fatigue limit, C. Surface hardness, D. Wear resistance. The correct answer is grain size. Of grey cast iron produces white cast iron. A. Tempering, B. Rapid heating, C. Rapid cooling, D. Slow cooling. The correct answer is rapid heating. As the fluid flow rate increases, the float of the rotameter, A. rises in the tube, B. rotates at higher speed, C. rotates at lower speed, D. drops down in the tube. The correct answer is rises in the tube.